top rope. Episode 100. We did it. I am Chad, coming to you from Zeus's Treehouse, and I am joined by both my good brothers tonight for this momentous occasion. To my left, I got Diesel.
Hello, everybody.
And to my right, I got Jay Rizzo.
What's up, High Flyers?
Yeah, we found out where in the world is Jay Rizzo.
I'm here.
Yeah, he's here.
Not Kenya.
No.
So as this is a special episode, we're going to just cut right ahead. We're not going to do any news or how our week's been or anything like that. We got things to get through. So we're actually going to play that wonderful game that we were talking about, where we're going to kind of test our friendship to see how well each of us know things about each other. So the way this is going to work is we're each going to take turns. Whoever is being asked the question will be reading the question. So I'm going to start, and JR and Diesel will have to guess to see if they know it right. I will write it down on this wonderful piece of paper, so you know I'm not cheating, and we'll see how well they know me.
We're going to do like point system?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You keep track of your own points.
Okay.
See how well you know, and we'll have a winner for each round. And then we'll go, to each person. But as I said, I'm going to start. All these questions came from the wonderful people of the Visionaries Wrestling Network. We reached out to them for these questions, so thank you all for that. We will start with the first thing. When I am drunk, what kind of drunk do I think I am?
What you think you are or what you actually are?
Well, it says are they, but I have to write it down. So I mean,
it's what you think you are.
obviously.
All right. That's a tough one, actually.
All right, I'm done.
You want to go first, Diesel? Start off episode 100 first.
Okay, what kind of drunk is Chad?
Yeah.
Chad is a hyper drunk.
Hyper?
Yeah.
Hyper, all right.
So since I think it goes off what Chad thinks he is when he's drunk, I'm going to go awesome. Because Chad thinks he's awesome when he's drunk.
So you think I think I'm an awesome drunk?
Right.
Well, as cocky as I am, I actually am quite a bit of a realist. So neither of you getting a point because I wrote down a very annoying drunk.
You can be that from time. Depends on what we're talking about.
Yeah, see, I get really loud, I know, so I know that I can be a very obnoxious drunk, especially if you disagree with me
If we're
about
talking
something.
like Patriots or something like that,
Anything
you can
like
get
that.
very...
Everybody who's watching right now knows you get very loud when you're drunk. So.
Yeah, that's true. True fact.
All right, fair enough. That was a good answer.
No points to either of you for the first question. Number 2. What was the first wrestling show that we attended together? So we'll just answer this one. I'm going to write it down. Does everyone know?
I don't really know.
I know.
Well,
What if you have might not have the same answer as Chad, though?
I know, but I know the answer. Well, this one's gonna give it away for the rest of us.
mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll only answer this one once. Sorry, but I'll write down what I think it is, and Diesel's, of course, the correct one because
Yes.
he's the steel trap of memory. All right, I wrote down what I thought it was. So, what do you think it was?
I think it was the house show at Bratas.
Nope.
No.
Nope. It was the house show in 2014 where John Cena faced Bray Wyatt in the main event.
In the tables match, I wrote WWE House Show. I knew it was the earlier one, the 2014 one. And Al and Sean were there.
They were
Oh,
there.
yeah, that one.
Al and Sean attended with us. That was the first time we ever went to a wrestling show together. All right, so that's the only time I answer that one. So fun fact, in 2014, here in Madison, Wisconsin, we went to a house show. And Bray Wyatt fought John Cena in a tables match. And I said that I thought they were going to put him through the announcer's table. And then my friends go, Chad, why would there be an announcer's table? There is no announcers. And I go, they just set them up anyways. I mean, so people can go through them. Made sense in my head, folks. Made sense in my head. All right. The next one we'll do is, what is the first sport I played? All right, I wrote my answer down. What do you got?
T-ball.
I'm gonna guess hockey.
Answer is soccer.
That was my other choice.
Soccer was the correct answer. When I was 4 years old, I played soccer. Then when I was 5, I played t-ball. And then 6, I played hockey. So you guys were in the right ballpark. Just not quite correct. All right. Are you having fun with this,
We're
guys?
not
so far?
doing very well.
No, you guys
I got a
don't.
point.
Yeah, you got from
The house show.
I have a terrible memory, so this
Winning.
is not my kind of game.
Diesel is clearly my better friend right now. All right. The next one we will go with is Oh, this is an easy one. You guys should be able to get this. What is my favorite movie?
Oh, yeah, that's
I got this one.
All day.
All day. Same time. 1, 2, 3.
Fight Club.
That is the correct answer. Fight Club is my favorite movie and has been for a very, very long time. Love that movie. Tyler Durden is where it's at. I won't spoil it for anyone, but seriously, that movie came out like 100 years ago. So if you don't know, figure it out. All right. Next question. So you both got a point, 2-1. Next is, who is my secret male wrestling crush?
Oh,
See, this could go a bunch of different ways.
All right, I know. I got my answer. All right.
oh,
All right.
man.
You could have a lot of them. All of us, really.
Right?
All right. Do you want to go or you want me to go?
You go.
I have a shot in the dark. I'm going to say Adam Cole.
Baby!
I think that was too obvious.
That's what I thought, but I just, that's what
I'm going to go with Kenny Omega.
Interesting guesses from both of you. I mean, they're both attractive males, but my answer is definitely the hip swiveling monster of a man, Big E.
Not Otis Dozovich?
Nope, it's got to be Big E. Is definitely my secret male wrestling crush that is no longer a secret. So you're welcome, folks. All right, once again, no points for either of you.
Yeah.
Nice try, though.
That was a tough one, man.
That was. So I will go to my next one. I've just been skipping around. I'm not going to do all of these. All right, I will do this one, which is favorite breakfast cereal. This will be my last question I'm asking. I'm going to pass the notebook, and then you guys can go through and do whichever ones you would like.
Breakfast cereal, eh?
Yeah, write it down.
Oh, sorry.
All I can think about is my own taste. What's in my...
All right, I wrote mine down.
It's rough. I'm just gonna guess Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Good guess, good guess. Is that still around?
Hell yeah, I got 2 boxes on top of my fridge, man.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Oh, man. I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes, another good guess. Once again, no. Neither of you know me, and the correct answer was Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops, I can eat Fruit. Oh, you can eat Fruit Loops dry or with milk.
Bro.
They are fantastic.
They are not good. I do not like Fruit Loops.
All right, fine. So I guess Diesel wins then this round.
Sure
and
did.
knows me 2-1, though he also doesn't know me at all. Which one of you guys want to play next?
I'll go.
Yeah, let Diesel
Alright.
go.
I got this.
Here's the notebook. There are the questions. I didn't do all of them. You can do whichever ones you want. Clearly not the wrestling show, since we both know the answer. Unless you want to give us a free
Can
point.
I double them up?
You can double up. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I just kind of did whatever I wanted. So you have to read what your question is.
I am also going to start out with what kind of drunk are they?
Oh, all right. What kind of drunk does Diesel think he is? I think Diesel, though I love you, you do get a little annoying at times when you're really drunk because you scream things like, Chad, you know what you are? A Lannister! You know why? Because you always pay your
That
debts.
was a compliment.
It was a wonderful compliment, but I was working and you screamed it across the very busy bar at me. But I'm going to go with you're a fun drunk.
I'm gonna go with loving, like he'll hang on you kind of guy.
Oh, loving drunk. I like that.
Yeah, you know, you kind of lovey-dovey with your friends and stuff.
All right, what's the answer?
I went with happy.
Happy.
Oh, that's close.
All right, are you going to give it for... all right, no.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Do either of us get points for that?
It's not fun.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, we were both close. Lovey,
We're close.
fun. Yeah.
Close,
But
fine.
that's not happy.
All right, fine.
So, what am I going to go with next here?
I was going to say, don't write on my tablet with that permanent marker. I would be very upset with you.
Check all the good ones.
Well, you can reuse them, man.
Well, so I'm going to do that.
Obviously, I wouldn't say you should reuse the good ones.
Okay. What is the first sport I ever played?
This has to be T-ball. I'm going with T-ball. I think you were projecting onto me with your answer when you said you thought I played T-ball first. So I'm definitely going to say T-ball is the answer to this question.
Go with flag football.
T-ball.
T-ball. See, I told you. He totally was projecting on me with that one. But yes, 1 point for Chet. That means I am winning.
Yes,
I'm a
you
winner.
are. You are up.
So far. Okay, what? How many did you do? 4?
I think I did 4, yes.
Okay. Who is my favorite member of NXT?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't even know.
You can write something down.
Think quick.
I know who. I'm pretty sure I know who I'm going to answer here. I think it has to be the man who you have said is your favorite wrestler on the planet currently. And since he's in NXT, it has to be the answer. And it's got to be Johnny G. Johnny Gargano. Mr. Wrestling himself.
I don't know, man. I think I'm just gonna guess Adam Cole.
Baby!
Going with another Adam Cole guess.
Well, I didn't say he was my favorite wrestler in the world. I said he's the best in the world.
Best in the world, favorite in the world.
And he even said it, Johnny G.
Johnny G, baby!
I'm getting wrecked in this game.
You're apparently not very good friends with us, man. What the hell?
I don't know. I've been out in Peru, dude.
Oh, you were in Peru. We found out. Another country he was in.
Yep.
This is going to be your final one then? Is this 4?
Yeah. Okay, then I'm going to go with favorite breakfast cereal.
I'm tempted to guess the same thing that I guessed for you.
That's a good answer.
It is.
I'm going to make you go first.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna change. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go with Captain Crunch peanut butter, specific peanut butter, not the original Captain Crunch peanut butter one.
All right. That's a good answer. What do I think is... So I'm going to go on the same lines as you, but I'm going to go straight up Reese's Puffs.
Oh, okay. Reese's Puffs?
Because I know Diesel loves himself some peanut butter, so I think I'm going to go Reese's Puffs.
I don't like Reese's Puffs, though.
Oh.
I do like Captain Crunch, but I went with Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa
Yes.
Pebbles. All right.
The milk.
Yeah.
The chocolate
you can
milk.
drink the milk, and then
Yeah.
you add more milk, and then it's even
And
chocolate.
more Cocoa Pebbles. And
Yeah.
All right.
all of a sudden the box is gone. It's like, Mom, I need more cereal. I bought you that yesterday, and it's Monday.
Right. Well, those boxes are small, man. It's like 2 big.
Oh,
bowls.
we got the family size ones.
Oh, also high flyers. Since we're not looking at the camera right now, I can't see any of your comments. If you'd like to send us a comment while we're doing this, if something is screwed up, just at me on Twitter, and we'll see it right away. All right, folks? But it's now time for JR's turn.
All right. All right, I'm going to start with the same one you guys did. What kind of drunk do I think I am, or what kind of drunk you guys think I am?
Well, the original answer to this one, many years ago, many moons, if you will, would have been that term angry drunk, to the 9th degree of angry, when you used to punch things all the time. But you've since calmed down very much in your older age, if you will.
I have, because it did used to get out of control.
I've seen you punch more walls than I can count. I've also seen you try and fight me more times than I can count. So yeah, we've got into many brawls. So, but I would not say angry anymore. So I will answer, I think you are a fun drunk. I think you think you're a fun drunk, and you're a fun drunk.
We think, Diesel.
I think you're a crazy drunk.
Crazy? I do get a little wild sometimes.
Wild is an understatement.
I wrote silly.
Silly. All right. That's.
I get a little silly with it.
All right.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys are pretty close.
It's up to you,
Crazy,
man.
silly. We'll just skip it. No awarded points.
No points.
No points awarded. All right.
We tried. We're
Yeah.
close. I feel very regal sitting in the chair like this.
I'm gonna go with that same one. What was the first sport I played?
Well, JR answered 2 separate things for both of us, so I don't know if he was projecting on either of us for his answers. I don't have a good... I mean, T-ball's always a good answer. Like, I feel like that's most kids' first sport. I just happened to play soccer when I was 4. Man! Diesel, you have to go first.
I know it wasn't hockey.
No,
I know it wasn't.
I skated one time in my life, hurt my ankle, never did it again.
I'm going to go football.
Chet?
I'm gonna take T-ball again. I think T-ball's a good answer.
Football.
Damn.
It's like the only organized sport I ever played was football.
Dang.
Oh man, I thought you never played T-ball?
Nope.
What kind of child were you?
You played softball.
I did play softball, yeah.
It wasn't very organized.
No,
We
no,
were
it
saying
wasn't.
it was not.
I took one to the chest one time. That one hurt a little bit.
They had a really, really great statistician though. That guy who kept the books was on the money.
You played a season.
I did.
You did play it.
But when I kept the books, I was much better.
So that's 2. What is my favorite breakfast cereal?
Oh man,
I think we might already know this one.
it's got to be Cookie Crisp. He said he's got 3 boxes on his refrigerator right now, right?
He's swerving us. He did that so we to answer something different.
Well, screw it. I got swerved then. I'm taking Cookie Crisp.
I'm going Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, because that's the one I said.
Dang it!
CTC, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
CTC. Do not. Okay, that's too much. You can't write down cinnamon toast.
Cookie Crisp, are you being serious today?
No, I think I was.
Well,
I was
there's
projecting.
2 C's in both
Yeah.
of them. I don't know. I just kind of.
I really thought he said Cookie Crisp.
So I got 4 points, by the way.
Yeah.
Cookie Crisp.
I got 1. I don't think.
You don't have 4. He only has 3 questions.
3.
I know. I got 2 from you and I got 2 from him.
Oh, I see. You overall, yes. All right.
And he only has 1 question left, and you only got 2 points. So.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess But Jaroslav asked his last question,
Yeah.
and this is a double points question. So if I get this
that's not
right,
fair.
I win.
That'd be tight.
It's a triple point question.
This is going to be a hard one, even for me to pick, but what is my favorite movie?
Okay. You know?
Don't know if I do. As I said, this is a triple point question, so if I get this, I win the game.
Unless I get 2.
Well, you can't answer the same thing I do.
Well, if it's what I have in mind right now, I'm answering it.
You want to go first, then?
Yes.
Okay.
Pulp Fiction.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a really good one. That was definitely on my mind. I was definitely thinking Quentin Tarantino because JR loves Quentin Tarantino so much.
I do.
But he also loves his comedy movies. So I wonder if it's a swerve on that. And I'm gonna go Tommy Boy.
All right, you guys are on good. I almost picked Pulp Fiction. It is a comedy though.
Same.
I got Miss
Oh, this is Doubtfire.
Miss Doubtfire is my favorite movie, and I don't care if anyone gives me crap to say it's not like a cinematographer. I can't even say the word. Like masterpiece. It makes me laugh. I love Robin Williams. Miss Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire is a great choice, and I'm not going to fault you on that. That is a really great choice right there. All right, so I guess that will wrap up our, what do we want to call that? Our mystery dating game, kind of? Friendship test?
Yeah, friendship test. I like
A
that.
friendship test.
I did real bad.
Yeah, JR doesn't know anything about
So
any of us.
I think Diesel got first, Chad got second, and I lost for
The
sure.
winner,
Yep, that is...
Steve Holt.
That is exactly what happened here. All right, but now it is time for us to move on to everyone's favorite segment, where we answer all of your great questions. Yeah, you're going to need a drink of water, because it is time for the Mystery Brainbuster of the Week. But before it can happen, I have to say those magical words, so you guys just get to hear the most magical song on the planet. So, boys, hit the music.
This is the first time this song has ever been performed live, too. So, ready for it?
Let's do it.
Questions, questions, questions. We answer all your questions. Questions, questions, questions by high flyers. We answer all your questions. Your questions, questions, questions. Questions, questions, questions by high flyers.
And as the song just told you, it's time for the Mystery Brainbuster of the Week. So let us kick things off. And we're going to start with the Go Home Wrestling Show. Their question is, from what we heard on Talk Is Jericho podcast, among all the other bad reports about the WWE, my question is if you were the WWE, what would be the first thing you would change to make it a better experience for the talent?
Oh, I feel like they could have more input into their character development or, maybe not storylines because they know they have writers for that, but like character development in general, or maybe not be so scripted when you're out there talking all the time. I feel like they hate that because if you get some cheesy line that some writer wrote for you and you're like, this isn't going to help my character development, and it's just not going to be very good. So if you do things like that, I think it would really help your talent not want to jump ship and go somewhere else they think is a hotter commodity. So just small input things like that on their character would be good.
All right, Diesel.
Better booking.
That too.
I mean, one of the reasons Dean Ambrose left the WWE is because of the creative. I mean, he wasn't doing anything, and back in the day, you used to have like multiple plates spinning. You'd have a feud over here, a feud over here. You'd always be doing something. You wouldn't be just in one stationary feud unless you were like maybe the biggest feud in the company. You'd always have multiple things going on, and it made for more interesting storylines and anything could happen. So that's better booking.
Yeah, better booking is definitely the easiest route to go, and less scripting, another easy answer right there.
Yeah.
But I think for something that would just improve the overall quality of life for them is insurance or things of that nature. I mean, they're the biggest company in the world. They're a billion-dollar company. They could definitely be providing amenities for their superstars.
Medical stuff.
Yeah. Help with housing, help with, cars, everything like that, travel expenses. Like, that's the little things they could do. I think just doing that would fix a lot of anger for a lot of the superstars, because if you just don't have to worry about that, you're more willing to take it on the chin with something else, if you get what I'm saying there.
Right.
All right, well, thank you for that wonderful question. We have to thank the Go Home Wrestling Show, who is on Twitter at Go Home Wrestling. Make sure you give them a follow and check out their wonderful content. Let us move on, though, to our next high flyer. Our next high flyer will be, let's see, we'll go with Steve Brooks, who is at StingPunk420. Make sure you give him a follow on Twitter. Question is, for a special episode 100 twist, I would like to ask that we switch it up and have Chad answer first and Diesel answer last. Guess that puts you in the middle.
Sure does.
Always in the middle.
Fair enough. The question is that I will answer first. What is the best prank you have ever pulled in your entire life? Ooh. Alright, well, I do have a younger brother, so it has to be something I did to him. I know exactly what I'm going to go with. So I made my younger brother absolutely terrified of our bunk beds to the degree that we had to get rid of them because I pulled such a great prank on him. So my best friend Ryan used to be over at my house all the time back in the day, and we convinced my brother that I was not home, that I went with my mom to run to the store or something like that, and that I wasn't there. So I was hiding upstairs under our bunk beds and just being completely silent. And that's where we had our video game system. So Ryan and my brother came up to our room, and they were going to play some video games. And I'd also convinced my brother that our room was haunted by my Goosebumps books. That's actually kind of important to the story. So he was already terrified of our room to begin with. Giant bookcase had all 50 of the Goosebumps books at the time in there. And I told him they'd come to life at night if he wasn't careful and eat them. I was a great big brother. So they came up there to play the video games and whatever. So as they started to play, I let them get into it. They were playing, I want to say, it was a PlayStation 1 game. I want to say it was Crash Team Racing, to be 100% honest. And just as they were starting to get into it, I grabbed my brother by the ankles and I started dragging him under the bunk bed and just screaming like a madman to make it seem like, he was being possessed or taken to the dark realm by the Goosebumps books. And the only reason I didn't pull him all the way under the bed is because I started laughing so hard that I literally couldn't pull anymore. But yeah, after that, we had to get rid of the bunk beds because my brother was terrified of them.
That's a good one. It sounds like something you would do, Chad.
It was a lot of fun. All right, you have to go next, JR.
Yeah, mine's not very good. I don't really. That's
You're not a prankster?
Not really. This isn't really a prank, but my sister was sleeping one time, and
the best story started out.
Yeah.
My sister was sleeping.
No, and it was April Fool's Day, and I didn't know how to do a prank, so I got an egg out of the fridge and I threw it at her face while she was sleeping, hard, and she was pissed. That's not a very good prank, but yeah, that's what I do.
My turn?
Yeah,
Yes.
your turn.
Okay, so I got two that come to mind. So I got to talk about both of them.
I like it.
Okay, so one of them, and one's better than the other one, obviously. So I'm gonna go with the one that isn't as good first. One of them happened on this show. One of them happened to a good friend of mine. Okay, the one that happened on this show was Commodore Smitty. We all know the story about Commodore Smitty.
You.
And that was good. That was a good one.
Oh, you should probably explain it. There's actually high flyers who probably
Okay.
don't know about this.
So last year, made up a fake Twitter, Commodore Smitty, because I was told that was Chad's high school email address. Turns out it wasn't.
Well, I thought it was like your gamer handle.
No,
Maybe it
never
was your
was.
brother's gamer handle.
Nope, CS Hollywood was my original gamer
No, your
tag.
brother could have been Commodore Smitty.
Nope,
I
never
just
was.
made it up in my
You
head.
made it up completely. I did go by Smitty for a little while
bit,
in
yeah.
high school, but
I don't
that's
know why.
it.
So for months and months, I asked questions under this name and revealed that it was me, and Chad was very, very upset about it, and I got a really, really big kick out of it. That was great. So my best prank I've ever pulled, well, that ends right here. I'm Steve Brooks.
Are you really?
I'm Steve Brooks.
Are
Hey,
you
Chad,
serious?
Chad, you told me last year in episode 50 I would not be able to do it again. I said, I can do it again, and I will do it again. And you go, no, you won't. I'll go. I will know. So guess what? I'm Steve Brooks. And look at the name. Steve Brooks.
Oh
And
my
if you take the names, Steve Borden and then Phil Brooks, you get Sting, CM Punk, Steve Brooks at Sting Punk 420. And he's from Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is Don, this one.
That's good, dude.
He's what in the hell is wrong with you?
Last week I got you to do a reviewing 2 because I knew you were going to try to pull that on me, and I wasn't going to do it. I got you. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice.
What is wrong with you?
That is great.
Why do you keep doing this to me?
It's the other way around. Because you said I couldn't do it, and I did it. I waited till this very episode. I've had it in the works for months. The second you told me I couldn't do it, I'm like, I'm going to do it. And I had to wait for the perfect time. The funniest thing is, the first time I ever asked a question, that day, you looked me dead in the eye and go, this isn't you, is it?
I was here for.
No, you weren't. It was just me and
Are
him.
you sure?
It was just me and him. And I looked you back and go, dude, I promise you, I'll never do that again. And you're like, okay, I just had to be sure. I just had to ask. And you turned away. The second you turned away, I was just like,
I'm so mad right now.
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
That's why you had to answer first.
See, okay, and I always knew there was something up, because, I mean, it has the firing squad as the photo.
Yep, that too.
Like, I knew there was something up right away, but I just accepted it, because I didn't think my douchebag friend would do it to me again.
Sting
so.
Punk 420.
You are the worst.
It's your favorite wrestlers. It's your favorite wrestlers. I thought for sure you'd catch on. I thought for sure you might know. When I started with the first prank, I thought maybe you'd catch on. You're the good friend that I did the second prank to if you didn't know.
I got it.
Oh, man, that's good.
Yeah, I got you good. Effort.
Well, I'm not announcing who that handle is anymore, because someone's a dick.
It's this guy.
This guy.
Oh, man.
Oh, you want to know how else I also had the followers because I used the Commodore Smitty account and changed everything. Yeah. Because I knew you'd be checking that, like, he has like 2 followers.
Yeah.
This is Diesel.
Yeah.
No.
Wow. All right, you got me good on that one, man.
I've been waiting so long to do that. Yeah. Moving on.
All right. Moving on to our next real high flyer. Our next real high flyer is, we're going to go with a classic. We're going with Good Guy Dave. Who is that? Dave Pazewski. And I also know you're real, so I'm definitely going with you next. The question from Dave is, if you could change anything about your podcast, what would it be? P.S. I love you guys. Thank you for everything. You were my first podcast because you reached out to me that time, and your content continues to be awesome. Congratulations. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. That was really nice.
Yeah, it's nice, man. What I was gonna say is having it videoed. You know, have a video of it each and every week to have out there, because it's nice to be able to see the people interact, just not with, not just the audio. So I guess we got it going right now. So
We got it going.
That's one thing I change is do more. Like have the time to do more and be able to do it like more as a job. But like that come later. But like because I don't know, I just really like doing this podcast and I'm very happy that we made it to 100 episodes. So happy. So then I could reveal my prank.
I'm very, very proud of you. The one thing I wish we could change about this podcast, nothing. I love it. I love basically everything the way it is. I love that we're doing video now. It would have been ad video, as JR said. I love the fact that we changed the podcast up and just answer fan questions constantly. I mean, it is just a wonderful, wonderful thing that we do. And I love every moment of it. And I just hope that we keep reaching more and more people. And that's really all that I was changed, is that we had more followers and more people who were watching, just so that we had more people to interact with and enjoy this wonderful content we put out and get more wonderful questions about more wonderful and wacky things. Have I ruined the word wonderful for you yet? Because everything is wonderful. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Okay, now I ruined it for myself.
Now it's starting to sound weird.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I was trying to ruin it for you. It worked. I win. All right, well, let us thank good guy Dave, who is at Dave Pozetsky, for that great question. Let us move on to our next high flyer. Our next high flyer will be, this is a good one. We're going to go with Jerry Hey Arnold, who is at Santa Jesus Guy. And the question is, if you were to go to prison, what would you do on your first day there? All right, hold this for 1 second. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit. We're going to move it back. I feel like you guys aren't in enough of the perspective, if you will.
Are you? Yeah, are you looking at it on the Twitter sphere there?
Yeah, it's a little creepy. I can watch myself and do it at the same time.
The first day in prison, they always say go after the biggest dude. I think that's a really bad idea. Like, you know, to show that you're tough, go like fight the biggest guy. But then what if you get your ass beat? Then you don't look very tough.
No, you would not look very tough if you got beat up right away.
I don't know. I think I would lay low. Try not to bring any attention to myself.
Get low.
Try to like not bring attention to yourself in a way that you're gonna have enemies right away, or if you're gonna, or try to make a couple friends maybe, but do it quietly. You know what I mean? Like, don't make enemies. I guess is the best answer right away.
All right, Diesel.
I would probably start shanking everybody, so I get in the hole and be saving my
thoughts. I don't know, man. They say that solitary is the worst thing that can happen to a person because people need each other.
I'll make a mashed potato girlfriend.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'm going to go pretty much with Diesel's answer, is I would get myself locked into solitary as soon as humanly possible. Not because I'm already crazy, which is fine, but I also wouldn't want to be around anyone else. I just read books and go crazy down there. It'd be fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't do well in jail.
I would not do well in jail either.
No, either. Yeah.
No, I have a real problem with authority already. So if my whole life was controlled, I'd probably go real crazy.
There's no beer in jail.
There is no beer. You can do some toilet wine, though.
I don't care. I would have
something in jail.
Yeah, I'd be doing a lot of toilet wine.
Something to wet the whistle.
Did you just break a pen?
No, I didn't actually. I hit it like that.
Okay, good.
Snapped
it.
Oh yeah. Live, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't spill things.
No, I didn't spill it. I just knocked it over.
Okay.
It wasn't open.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. All right. Well, we have to thank Jerry Hey Arnold, who is at Santa Jesus Guy. You're not Jerry Hey Arnold, right?
No, but I know Jerry Hey Arnold.
Me too.
I do too, but I'm just making sure this is an inception, and I don't really know who Jerry Hey Arnold is. All right, let's move on though. Next high flyer will be. Let's go with the Aussie Lucian blogs and podcast, who is at Aussie Lucian, and that is AUSSIELUTION. And the question is, if you could rewrite The Undertaker's streak ending, what WrestleMania and what superstar would you have had do the honors? Also, welcome, new high flyer. I'm sorry I didn't let you go first. I kind of forgot you were a new high flyer. That was my bad. It's a live episode, and been a lot of things going on. A lot of things to figure out.
Anybody else want to go first on this one? I need to rack my brain a little bit.
Who would I have the Undertaker lose to in WrestleMania? CM Punk, WrestleMania before he lost.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
That was one of the best booked feuds for sure for the Undertaker, I want to say. Stole the urn and everything. It was very disrespectful.
And, I mean, I just didn't want to give that push to CM Punk ever. But, I mean, this would have cemented his legacy. It would have been great. He would have definitely been on top, and he would have been able to say he wasn't. But
I mean,
I didn't want to do that.
I'm gonna take the easy way out and say they probably should have just never done it, and just had him win every time, and then maybe not have him wrestle after he's had all these surgeries and doesn't look good. Like these last couple of WrestleManias, when he had that one against Roman Reigns, it was so underwhelming, and he lost again. Like, you could have cut that one completely out and had him never lose to Brock Lesnar, and I'd have been totally okay with him winning every single match at WrestleMania and have him retire undefeated.
Retire undefeated at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So since Diesel already took the answer of CM Punk, which obviously was going to be my answer, I'm going to go with my second choice, and I'm really bad at WrestleMania numbers. I would go, though, it was a while ago. It was when Undertaker faced Edge. When Edge was the champion, and Undertaker won the World Heavyweight Championship for one of the last times.
I don't know when that is.
It's like 21? 2?
Possible.
If you ask the Undertaker, he said he wanted Kane to do it.
Yeah.
Because that's been his longest rivalry throughout his career.
It
It would
would
make sense.
And they have 3 matches.
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah, it would have made the most sense for it to be Kane.
Just
as
for
his
as a
brother.
lengthy rivalry.
Yeah, exactly. And it was his brother.
Right.
And it was Undertaker.
Brother.
Yeah, killed their family and everything like that, and then blamed Kane. So,
Or it was Kane that did it. It's whatever story.
Where you want to listen to.
They wrote a book about Kane doing it, though.
no, Kane wrote a book completely in kayfabe.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It
saying.
wasn't really Kane wrote the book, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Glenn Jacobs wrote the book.
no, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
He might have had some input to it.
Pretty sure Glenn Jacobs wrote that book.
I honestly have no idea, so I have no horse in the race on this
You're the freaking Kane fanatic.
one. We love you, High Flyers. Yeah, live, baby.
It happens.
Oh, Diesel.
Yeah.
All right, as I said, I would book Edge. Thank you, New High Flyer, for that wonderful question. Once again, that was the Aussilution blogs and podcasts, and they're at Aussilution. And once again, that was AUSSIELUTION. Let us move on to our next High Flyer. Our next High Flyer is the Good Cop, Bad Cop Pod, who is at Good Bad Cop. And that is Good Bad and then Cop, spelled with a K. This is their new soccer podcast. Question is, with Liverpool appearing in the Champions League final on Saturday for the second consecutive year, what is the best soccer game you've ever watched?
I watched maybe a half hour of the Women's World Cup when USA won, I guess.
USA.
Yeah, we
USA.
won like 3 in a row or some crap like that. I don't know.
Best soccer game I ever watched was the championship game in the Big Green.
Hey, that is a really good
I
one.
love that movie.
That's
It's a great movie.
I think that has to be my answer as well. Or there's the soccer game in the Kicking and Screaming movie with Will Ferrell.
That's a good movie too.
That's a good one. When I'm
Like
kicking,
Dicka.
yeah, Kicking and Screaming. Yeah, that's the best soccer game I've ever watched. Excuse you, JR.
Well, man, what do you want me to do? It's live.
You have to say excuse you.
Oh, I don't.
Excuse me.
I don't do that.
No, I don't care. Why? It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So the best soccer game I ever watched was in Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell when they just start wrecking those other kids.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
Oh, there's also with Rodney Dangerfield, the Ladybugs movie, where they have the little boy dress up as a girl and play on the girls' team. That wouldn't fly anymore.
I've never seen that movie.
Yeah, I don't think that movie would get made anymore. But that's neither here nor there.
Get no respect.
No respect. No respect for Rodney Dangerfield. Let us thank, though, the Good Cop, Bad Cop pod, who is at Good Bad Cop. And that is Good Bad and then Cop with a K. Let us move on to our next High Flyer. Our next High Flyer will be... I keep going by Steve Brooks and it's making me really pissed off every
It's
single
great.
time I
It's so
go
good.
by. It's so...
King of the catfish over here.
You were catfishing before catfishing was a thing.
Very true.
It is.
This term on that, and we will not discuss that live on the internet.
Yeah,
Definitely not.
I can throw some shade your way. Let us go to James Willis, who is at _Davioli. Make sure you check out James Willis on the What You Talking About Willis podcast, only on the Visionaries Wrestling Network. James's question is, congratulations on the big 100. To celebrate, show us your best wrestling impressions. Yeah, we've done it before, but now it's on camera.
Let me tell you something, brother.
That's all I got.
You could at least say Mean Gene or...
Yeah, well, he's not Mean Gene, he's Diesel. I could have said Diesel, I guess. I just took an easy one. You gotta, something first thing pops in your head, Diesel.
See, and JR is just a cheat. He takes
Yeah,
the lowest
well, I
hanging
go
fruit.
first,
Yeah.
so...
Lowest
bam.
hanging fruit.
Every time.
Woo! It's my Charlotte Flair.
Oh, wow. We went with Charlotte instead of Rick.
You know, if he had a blonde hair right now, I would definitely have confused him for Charlotte. See, there you go.
Oh, there it is.
See?
That's
Yeah, get a little body
That's
movement
good,
into
yeah,
it, you
that's
know?
good, yeah.
Zero! Vienna!
I saw the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrestling
I've been
figure
looking at
right
this the whole time.
I've been looking at those a lot too, actually.
Uh,
Distracting, Chad.
Macho Man Randy Savage. You're snapping into a Slim Jim. I'm not gonna swear right there, because I usually do. But I didn't that time.
Cool. That's
Not
all I got.
bad.
Adam Cole, baby!
I'll just not say anything and do this.
I can do my James Earl Jones. Pretty good at doing that, actually.
Okay, he's not a wrestler, but go ahead.
That's fine. Simba, everything the light touches is our kingdom. You can go wherever you want, where the light touches. Do not enter the shadow place, though. That is the elephant graveyard.
Yeah, not bad.
Helps you have a really deep voice. It's pretty easy to do James
Yeah,
Earl
I
Jones.
can't do it.
You just drop your voice like a couple of more octaves. Boom, give me James Earl Jones.
How come he's the only one that gets to reprise his role on Lion King?
Simba.
And they're all still alive. Oh,
Huh? Well, I mean, they cut out Be Prepared, so I'm not going to see them.
are they seriously cut that
Yeah,
out?
there was way too much Nazi stuff in there.
I might as well just throw it in the trash then.
Throw it in the trash.
Oh, I
Scarred.
know both gonna see
Oh, I
it.
know. Scar looks terrible though.
It doesn't look good. And how do they call it a live action movie?
When it's all-
There's no live action.
It's
at
all
all.
CGI.
How do they call that live action?
You
Tell
tell
me.
us high flyers. How's that live action?
I have no idea.
Somebody tell us how it is live action because it's not live action.
Did they
It's like-
seriously cut it?
Yeah.
That song?
That's what I heard.
Oh, dude, that pisses me off. That's the best part of the whole goddamn movie.
You know what, JR? You just gotta cut it out.
Yeah. Little full house.
Little full house action for you folks
Yeah. All right.
there. Who has that question? Oh, let us thank James Willis, who is at _Davioli. And as I said before, check him out on the Visionaries Wrestling Network on the podcast. What you talking about, Willis? Let us move on to our next high flyer. Our next high flyer will be, I'm going to pop into my DMs, if you will, and grab the next question.
Slide in those DMs.
Slide into those DMs. And the next question is from, blah, blah, blah. We'll go with Tom Collahue, who is at Collahue, and that is at COLOHUE. And the question is, who is your dream podcast guest, preferably to have on live? Probably not here in Zeus's Treehouse, somewhere else.
That's a good one. Good question.
I can't believe Jared didn't answer it.
I was gonna say it, Chad. All right,
Wait.
I might pick someone else. All right.
No, you're not.
No,
Don't lie.
okay, it's Kane.
It's obviously Kane.
Glenn Jacobs. We can not only can we talk about wrestling, we can talk politics too.
Jared, you don't know a thing about politics.
Don't have to, Chad. I'll let him talk. I just make up a random question about politics, and he can talk about it.
JR, your experience with politics is Parks and Recreation.
Hey, man, I know more. I watched Bill Maher for a few months.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you under the bus
No,
right
you're
there,
good.
but I really had to.
You're not
I
lying.
know you guys are expecting me to say Stone Cold.
But that would be a good one.
I'm not gonna say Stone Cold. I'm gonna say The Rock.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be.
He's the number one movie star.
Can you imagine what that would do for our podcast if we got The Rock on here?
Still no one would listen, but it would be still really fun.
It would pick up momentum. I'd be like, these guys got The Rock out here.
They have flyers. Everybody, tweet The Rock. Tell him to come on our podcast.
Get us on StarCast.
Yeah, StarCast 3. Bookings are coming, so tweet about that. Forgot to say that. You do it.
Get us on StarCast. Tweet about it. Do whatever you have to. We want to go to StarCast. We need your help, everybody.
Everybody, tweet about us. Get us a StarCast. Make a movement.
I know you're watching, Conrad.
We know you are.
That time we rode with you in the elevator?
I was there. I have a picture to prove it. You can't deny it.
I wasn't there, so I don't know.
All right. But did I answer that question?
No, you did not.
What was it? Oh, my dream podcast guest live. It's a good one. I'd actually say Tamatanga. I know I looked on the wonderful little wrestle things that we have up here, and I was thinking, who would I really like out of these people? And Tamatanga would be one hell of a guest because the dude is crazy, he is super smart, and he just seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think he would be fun. Most fun out of the ones we all said.
Yeah, and I feel like we could smoke some cigars, have a couple of drinks while we're doing the podcast, and it would be totally normal. So that sounds like a dream for me. So I'm going with Tamatanga.
The ICW Rules podcast. We'll get in trouble for dropping an F-bomb like I did earlier.
Yeah, parental discretion advised. And you did drop an F-bomb. No one heard anything. Why'd you bring that up, Diesel? It never happened.
I said fracking.
Yeah, we were fracking on that. All right, but on that note, let us thank Tom Collahue, who is at Collahue, and once again, that is at COLOU, or HUE. And you can check out all of his great articles on Fansided DDT and a bunch of other places. Just go follow him on Twitter. You can get all those great links. Our next high flyer will be Blaine, who is at PC Mendoza. Another cool guy. Make sure you give him a follow. Lots of cool photos he puts up now. Has a really badass camera and does a lot of cool art or a lot of cool artsy things in Hawaii with his camera. So check that out. Blaine's question though is, who will win the NBA Finals MVP award?
Ooh, that's a good question too. As of right now, I'm gonna go with Steph Curry. That depends on whether or not Kevin Durant comes back. Because when he comes back, he's more of the focal point of the offense when he's in the lineup for the Warriors. And I really don't think Toronto's going to win. So, yeah, Steph Curry. But if Toronto wins, clearly going to be Kawhi Leonard because nobody else did any good on that team.
That's true.
I feel like you're throwing salt in my wounds here because Bucks just got eliminated. So, I'm not going to answer your question, my friend. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's a little bit of a dick.
Plus, I don't really care about the NBA, so.
That's fair. It's going to be Steph Curry. The dude is the best player probably in the NBA. Don't at me about Kevin Durant. I don't care. Steph completely changed the game with how many three-pointers he has shot. And Kevin Durant's great and everything, but he didn't change the game like Steph Curry has changed the game. So, yeah, I'm going Steph Curry by a long shot. And also, sorry, Ryan, the Toronto Raptors have no shot in hell to beat the Warriors in the finals.
That's not.
Not going to happen.
It's just not going to happen.
Not going to happen, folks. No, Diesel.
I said no.
That was I maybe could happen, but it's not.
I'm asking, like, why would you even think that? Just because you're from Canada or something?
It's kind of like, I probably think that's what it was. All right, let us move on to our next high flyer. Our next high flyer will be...
Baby.
We're going to go with the Wrestling Realm, who is at Wrestling Realm. And the question is, book an AEW versus WWE 3-match card. That's a pretty simple book.
Yeah, that's not too bad. 3-match card.
Together, or we...
No, you're each going to do your own.
Okay.
Well, I think right away I'm going to do a tag team match. Do the Young Bucks and the Usos. Everybody's wanted to see that match forever. And they'll put on a great show. Clearly. You know what? I'm going to do... I'm going to change it up a little bit and not use such a huge name. I'm going to use Kofi Kingston, since he's the champ right now. Against Kenny Omega. I think that would be a really fun match.
Wow.
High flying, Kofi Kingston, Kenny Omega. Awesome. That would probably be my main event. I'm not going in any order here. How about Hangman Page? I could go women's match. I already said it. So Hangman Page against Drew McIntyre. How about that? I think that'd be two big guys going head to head. That'd be a fun one too. Something simple, easy.
First match would be a 4-way. I mean, no, sorry, 8-man tag. And it would be...
Go
Too much sound out, you're freaking me out.
Go ahead.
I'm like, I hear myself talking, but I'm not
I'm talking.
Okay, so it'd be the Undisputed Era
Great things about being live, folks.
versus the Elite, which would be the Young Bucks, Cody, and Hangman Page.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't think any NXT guys. I just went off main roster.
Then my second match would be... I didn't think about this too much, I guess.
You done screwed up, folks.
I did done screw. Okay, MJF versus The Miz.
Yes.
How about that one?
There you go. That's
He
a good
stole
one.
that. He literally plucked it out of my brain because that was going to be my main event.
And then my main event is going to be Kenny Omega versus John Cena.
Alright, my turn?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, because none of you guys used any female competitors at all, I'm going to start out with Britt Baker, MD, DMD, if you will, dentist, MD. And she is going to be taking on, in an intergender match, Adam Cole, baby! Wanna know why? It's going to be a battle for the greatest entrance music of all time. That's what it's for. Number 2, I'm going to do a tag team match, and I'm going to do a triple threat tag team, and it's going to be the Good Brothers versus, and that is clearly Gallows and Anderson, taking on the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros. And I just want to add in, Gallows and Anderson just because it'd be fun. And then we get Gallows in there to be the big guy for everyone. And Machine Gun Anderson is just a badass. So that match would be phenomenal. And then in my main event, just to be different, and because I think that the way that he's been wrestling lately, this could be actually something really phenomenal. And I'm going to go with Kenny Omega versus The Miz in an unsanctioned match. So anything goes, and I think that could be a lot of fun.
Phenomenal on my shirt.
Yeah.
Yep, he won.
P1. No, let's use AJ Styles.
I thought about it, but I thought, I don't know.
Wow.
Well, he's fought a lot of those guys already, and some
True.
yeah.
It's true. I'd really just want to see Adam Cole versus Britt Baker. That'd be fun. You never hit anyone as hard as your best friend, or I guess your lover, so. Let us think. Who asked that question? Yes. The Wrestling Realm. Who was at Wrestling Realm? Make sure you give him a follow. You can check out Brian H. Waters' Break It Down podcast there, and also just their general Wrestling Realm podcast. Yeah, I did your job for you, Diesel. You're welcome.
Chad.
You're welcome. Well, let us move on to our next high flyer. Our next high flyer will be... Still, just every time Steve Bros pisses me off. We'll go with Darth Vapor. And he's back to just being Darth Vapor. Like it. He is at Metal_2006. Make sure you give him a follow. Great wrestling fan, great guy. Question is, who was/is your role model?
In real life? Or like just wrestling?
No, I think in real life,
Okay,
JR.
all right. Oh, that's hard. I don't really have a role model. I guess my dad, he's a hard worker. I work about half as hard as that guy, and he is way older than I am and works probably twice as much as I do. And yeah, probably him more than anybody else.
Fair enough. All right.
I guess I'd have to answer my dad too. And I can't really think of anybody else. And for probably the same exact reasoning as JR.
Yeah.
I don't work very hard.
I mean, we're slackers, folks.
We're millennials.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Just put that hashtag on.
Just
all
barely
this.
millennial.
No, we're the beginning of millennials.
Yeah, like the.
So we're not just
No,
barely
because-
millennials.
Yeah,
we're
we are, because if
beginning.
we were a little bit older, we'd be Generation X or whatever it was before that.
But it doesn't matter. We're
I
the
know.
beginning of the millennials.
I know, that's why I said just barely though.
I disagree.
Like if Schwenner was, if you were like 2 years older, you'd be a Generation X.
No, because millennials started technically at the beginning of the 80s.
Well, I couldn't tell you when all this goes down.
It starts at the beginning. It starts at the beginning of the 80s.
Well, I don't freaking know, man. Like,
Yeah, a millennial is someone who turned or around 20.
One of you high flyers, look it up and give us a real answer because we're just guesstimating.
I'm not. It is the 80s began the term millennial.
No, but they said Generation X in the 90s for people that were born in the early 80s, like my sisters. So I don't know.
No, you're wrong.
I don't know. I'm a millennial.
Yeah. Let's see. My answer for who my role model is no one.
Chad has no role model.
I really don't.
I know. That's why I said my dad.
honest,
That's definitely the closest.
I mean, my mom's a fantastic person, but I don't model my life after anyone. I just kind of roll with it and kind of forge my own path. I don't have any role models. So yeah, suck it. My role model is myself because I'm that awesome. Yeah, same. Got a few drinks of whiskey in me. I get that way. Let us thank Darth Vapor, who was at Metal_2006 for that great question. Let us move on to our next high flyer. Our next high flyer will be Mike, who was at Real Wintry. And the question is, I know that Moxley has a set contract with AEW, but when he does indie shows on the side, does he get a certain set amount or a percent of the gate, or just whatever he makes in merchandise sales he keeps? Basically, what do you think Moxley's getting paid to go do some indie events? Because he doesn't really need the money. And is he doing it for fun?
I still think he probably gets a little bit. It's probably not nearly as much as he's getting, obviously, with his contract with AEW.
Yeah, because apparently he made some bank.
Yeah.
And he also made a ton of money from the WWE. So.
And I'm sure he does get money from the merch, but I'm sure he makes at least a little bit from the booking as well. And because it does help the show, whatever promotion he's at, that helps sell tickets. So he's got to get a little bit of like percentage of that, I think.
I'm guessing he's making what everyone else makes. I don't think that they're going to pay him anymore.
Right.
He don't need it, and it probably make his money off his merch. And it's like, I mean, small independent shows don't really have that much money to be like dishing out. So I mean, I don't know exactly how it works. So I mean, I can't tell you, but I would guess that he's probably just making whatever everyone else is making on the show.
I would expect that John Moxley would probably take a discounted rate, especially to go to some smaller independent shows, because it seems like he is going back to do the love of wrestling is why he came back. He said on the Jericho podcast, if there wouldn't have been another big promotion like AEW out there, that he would have probably retired completely from wrestling and just gone to do something else.
Yeah.
So I think AEW might have sparked a little bit something in John Moxley. And so I think he's going to go do a whole bunch of indie shows before they get that TV deal and just do some crazy stuff. And I'm excited to see what happens. And I think he's going to take very little money for it and just, take his merch sales. Even that, I don't even think he cares that much about that. I think he's just out there to have some fun and show that he is the best version of himself and that he is a great professional wrestler. Because I think a lot of people talk shit about John Moxley and don't know if he really has it to go out here and go to New Japan and compete with all those guys in New Japan, or to even compete with the highest class in AEW. So I'm just excited to see what happens.
John Moxley, we know you're sitting right next to Conrad right now watching this, so come to SCW Milwaukee while you're at it.
Yeah, and also get us booked for StarCast. I bet you have that kind of power.
Yeah, you're sitting right next to Conrad.
Talk to him. You know we're friends. Oh, but yes, let us thank Mike, who was at Real Wintry, for that great question. Let us move on to our next high flyer. Our next high flyer is Ringside Rant, who is at _Ringside Rant. And the question is, book 5 WrestleMania matches with only AEW, Ring of Honor, and New Japan Pro Wrestling talent. So, I feel we should do this one together, because it's 5.
5 is a lot.
And I don't want to do 15 matches altogether. So, I say we do a singles event for the main event, a tag team triple threat match, a women's match, we'll say a fatal 4-way, because we can definitely pull 4 women out of those promotions, a fatal 4-way for like the mid-division titles, and an opening round contest. I don't care if someone wants to go first on the opening round contest, feel free.
That's a good one. Anybody want to start, kick it off? I mean, I'm not the best at these because you guys know a lot more competitors than I do on the independent scene with New Japan and Ring of Honor and AEW. I know the big names, obviously, bigger names, because I watched those matches, but I don't know a lot of the mid-card guys and stuff like that. So if we're doing it all together, I can just throw names around, but that's about it.
Opening round contest. MJF versus Minoru Suzuki.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good kickoff.
Just to watch Minoru just beat the crap out of MJF and MJF try to run away.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Oh, I mean, that would actually be absolutely fantastic. I would love every second of that. Yeah, all right. That's a great opening round contest. So the next match on the card would probably be our mid-card scramble.
Yep.
So we will say that it's a fatal four-way. Mm-hmm. And who do you have then, JR? We'll do fatal five-way. Fatal five-way, actually. Because then we got, JR, you can do, who do you think would be the WWE or US champion for New Japan? You know enough New Japan guys do.
Let's do Kota Ibushi.
Alright. Diesel, who is our Ring of Honor television champion?
Marty Scurll.
Marty Scurll.
Okay.
Alright. I will do the New Japan IWGP Intercontinental Champion, and I'm going to take Tama Tonga.
There you go.
Next would I don't know who AEW.
Like a middle card
Yeah.
AEW guy. Throw.
I mean, well, actually, can I take this one? Because
Yeah.
he just got signed today. Luchasaurus.
Okay. Well, can I take another AEW guy?
Yeah.
From JR? Joey Janela.
Oh, alright. So there is our five-way scramble for the mid-card title. We'll go with a fatal four-way with tag teams, and or fatal three-way with tag team, triple threat.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go first, JR. Since we stole your answers from last
I'll just
one.
be easy. Young Bucks have to be in it.
Yeah,
Have to
alright.
if it's a WrestleMania type deal. If it's a big one.
And the Lucha Bros.
Alright, well, then we're not, well, I guess technically the Young Bucks, but those are both AEW tag teams.
Well, I mean, you didn't really say that had to be. Well,
He did.
Fine. Okay, fine then. I will take from Ring of Honor. Briscoes, I guess.
No?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Briscoes is definitely a good answer for Ring of Honor. I guess that leaves me with New Japan. So from New Japan, I will take. I already used Tama Tonga, so I don't use the Gorillas of Destiny here. Ooh, I'm actually going to use Yo and Show and Repugny 3K. And they are some high-flying, awesome guys. So I would take Repugny 3K. Let's go to our women's match. I said this would be a fatal four-way, so.
I don't know any of the women from any of these, really.
Well, it's only Ring of Honor or AEW because New Japan technically does not have any women.
Yeah, I don't really know who's in these divisions at all for women.
Okay, so then I'm going Kelly Klein.
Kelly Klein. All right. Number 2, I will take Mandy Leone.
Alright, I will take Stacey Shadows.
Nice.
All right.
That's a really good one.
I knew both of those. I don't know why I said I don't know.
Did we
anybody.
just did 3 from
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor.
I will take,
Britt Baker.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's got to be Britt Baker. She's the face. And actually, we're going to make it a fatal 5-way. And
Brandy Rhodes.
Yep, Brandy Rhodes is going to insert herself at the last second into this match. All right, and then in our main event, it'll be a triple threat between all the heavyweight champions of these promotions. So, JR, who do you want to take?
Chris Jericho.
All right.
But what one? Is it going to be the
Ooh,
IWGP
yeah.
or is it going to be AEW?
AEW.
Okay. I'll take Ring of Honor. And I'll stick with Matt Taven.
All right.
Matt Taven. All right, good answer. That leaves me with New Japan. Obviously, if it's in this situation, even though I don't like to say this, it has to be Okada.
Kane.
No.
It's got to be Kane.
Kazuchika Okada. Kazuchika Okada is the answer. The Rainmaker. I mean, good gosh darn.
I think that would be a fun match, those
Yeah.
3 in a triple threat.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Maybe just throw in a ladder just for fun.
Yeah, ladder match for the
Ladder match, just
Yeah.
for fun.
Ladder.
All right. Well, on that note, we have to thank. Who was that from? Revisionist Booking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Revisionist Booking. Who is that? _Revisionist Book. No, that was Ringside Rant. That's
Oh, it was ringside rant. You're right.
You idiots.
It's RJ.
It's RJ.
It's RJ. He has many accounts, but that was Revisionist Book, who is at _Revisionist Book. Well, I said it wrong still.
It's Ringside Rant.
Ringside Rant, who is at _Ringside Rant.
So you got right that time.
Man, really, it's hard to do things live.
Yeah,
You don't have the edit feature going.
Yeah, you would have edited that anyways.
We would have kept it in. Let's
I
go.
left it. All right, let us move on though to our final high flyer, and as always, he's our final high flyer. Zeus. No one needs to hear anything from you
Knock
right
it
now.
off.
Our final high flyer is the magnificent Matt Willis, who is at the Matt Attack UK. And the question for Matt is, this past weekend, Matt took part in a soapbox race for the first time. So with that in mind, what wrestlers would each of you have on your soapbox team? Fill the following positions: 1 driver, 2 pushers, and 2 mechanics.
So, 1 driver, 1 pusher.
You don't know what soapbox racing is. It's
Oh yeah,
you know, it's
like
alright.
a push car derby.
Yeah. I get that too. That's exactly what I was thinking about too. Cool runnings.
That's exactly what
You
I
had
was
to think about cool runnings.
Push car derby. Anyways, so 1 driver, 2 pushers, 2 mechanics. So 5 total.
Yes.
All right, driver, good leader, keep everybody involved. Adam Cole. He
Baby.
can run the wheel here. I guess 2 pushers could be part of the Undisputed Era. Take
That's just gonna have a whole undisputed era for his team.
I'm just gonna do 3. The 2 pushers will be Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly.
Okay.
And then mechanics, heavy machinery, both of them. They can work on heavy machinery. Why can't they work on my soapbox car?
Who said they could actually work on heavy machinery?
Don't say that shit.
All right, fair enough.
Alright, so I figure your driver, wouldn't you do better if he was a little bit lighter?
No, you kind of want a heavy
You want a
driver.
heavier driver?
It depends on if it's downhill or if it's more flat terrain.
I always picture it being downhill, like the movie Miracle in Lane 2.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
that's
Disney
all.
movie.
Funny thing is, I never saw Miracle in Lane 1, so.
I don't think it exists.
So you want like a heavier driver? Someone like me?
It's up to you, man.
I don't know.
This is your dream team.
My dream team? Okay. Well then, I'm gonna go with EC3 as my driver.
Okay.
He's big and bulky.
Yeah, bulky.
Strong dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then my pushers, I'm gonna go with some big bulky guys that are strongmen that's gonna give me a good push. And I'm gonna go with Big E.
There you go.
I'm gonna go with Keith Lee.
Ah, nice.
For my 2 mechanics, go with the Revival because their original gimmick were mechanics.
That was the original
Yeah.
tag team name. That's very clever on your part there. So for my driver, I'm gonna go with intelligence over anything because your driver just has to be, really smart. Know the terrain, know the course, know where you're going at all times. So I'm gonna go with the Miz because I love the Miz, and I think he'd make a great driver. And he's also got a little bulk to him, so he's heavy enough that you'd also.
He's got those goggles already, man.
Yeah.
For the bugs.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
get your eyes.
He's already going to be a great push
You
car
should have
driver.
picked Dom Holly.
Yeah.
True. For my pushers, I'm gonna go with some, just powerhouse dudes, and also I'm gonna go with a little weight here as well because the pushers also, ride on the back.
They're
so,
on the cart.
Yeah. So if you're going down a big hill, this would help. So my number 1 pusher would be the Big Show, and not the current Big Show, the one where he was actually back in shape when he was working out. And he looked really good. And he was moving around the ring. That Big Show. And then number 2, I'm taking Cesaro. Because Cesaro is one of the strongest dudes ever, and also so damn athletic that he would be great. And then for my mechanics, I need somebody, a team, really, who would work really, really well together and really quickly. Because that's what I need as a mechanic. Like if I pop a wheel, I need to be able to be there, fix it in 1 second. So I'm going to go with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Because the 2 of them make a hell of a team, and they're both very smart. And they're quick as hell. So that would be my mechanics.
All right.
All right, let us thank the magnificent Matt Willis, who is at the Matt Attack UK, for that great question. Make sure you check out all of his wonderful podcasts, only on the Visionaries Wrestling Network. There are so many of them. Just check them out, folks. They're all aces. But that will wrap up the Mystery Brainbuster of the week this week. What'd you guys think?
Live, ladies and gentlemen. I loved it. That was fun.
Live for the first time ever. We did it!
We did it.
We did it.
We really did it. We made it through this whole thing. We kept it to a reasonable time.
Goal's an hour and a half in. We're under that.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, just right around an hour 10.
Yep.
But I think we're going to close out the live portion of this, do some other behind-the-scenes stuff, and also get the Visionaries Wrestling Network news and all that other fun stuff out of the way so you guys can listen to that audio tomorrow. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining us. I've been Chad. You've been who?
Diesel!
JR, Jer, whatever you want to call me. I don't care.
This has been View from the Top Rope, episode 100 live edition. Make sure soon there will be many more live editions coming. They'll be on YouTube live instead of this, but it was still great here on Periscope. Thanks, guys.
It's
Oh, yeah.